Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. The video no one asked for, but this is what you guys are getting today. We are in the middle of summer, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. So I figured, why not rate all of my Supergoop products? If you are new to this channel, I am a Supergoop stan. They are my favorite sunscreen brand, sunscreen line. I love a lot of their products. I've tried a lot of their products also. A lot. I have a sea of products sitting in front of me. Plus, there are products that I have used in previous years, completely up. And I have thoughts, I have opinions on so many things Supergoop. And I'm very interested in trying some other products because I have not tested the whole line out. But what's stopping me? So, except for like my wallet, obviously. But I do want to just briefly mention that I use something called HSA or FSA. That is a health spending or flex spending account that is like pre-tax dollars. Money gets taken out of your paycheck and then goes into an account for like skin, health, all those kind of purchases, and sunscreens do apply to those purchases as well. So I basically count them as like, it's almost like I have a gift card and I'm buying them, like a very weird way to think of it, like that kind of thing. So I have purchased these using like money that is set aside for our health. And we don't have that many medical bills at this time. Neither here nor there. We are here to talk about the Supergoop products and how I'm ranking them. And I'm going to separate this between body and face sunscreens because I think that would make the most sense because not all things are created equally. I don't use them all in the same areas, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start with body sunscreens first, and then I'm going to go to face sunscreens. After that, the timestamps will be, or like the little chapters are going to be down, like you can click things. I'm going to talk about the body items first, and we're going to go in from what I like the least to what I like the most, and that's how I'm going to do both of them. So starting with some product that I don't actually have in front of me anymore, but I'll have a picture of it go up right now. It is the hand screen, and I'm going to look at my notes that are right below where you're sitting right now, so I apologize. I wrote all of my notes before I started filming, so I would know how I rate these. My lowest rated body sunscreen is actually for your hands. I don't have the product any longer. I finished it up a couple years ago, and I was like, I'm not ever going to rebuy this. It is the Supergoop hand screen. I rated it a 3 out of 10. And I feel like that's kind of being generous. It was just a product that really didn't absorb at all. It was really thick. It didn't sink in well. Anytime I touched anything, my little grubby, greasy paw prints were stuck on things. Like I would put it on my hands before I started driving. I felt like my hands were slipping around the steering wheel a lot. I would get into work, and then I actually used to sit by a window when I was using this product, so I was like, I need it for my hands because they're always exposed to sun. I would do it, and then I would like touch notes, papers that I was working with, and like little grubby grease stains would like be all around. So I definitely didn't like it. Definitely thick, didn't absorb well. It just kind of sat in a layer on the skin. Next is a product that I actually have, and it's gonna be in my empties this month. So a little spoiler for the next video coming up, but that is this guy here, Glow Oil, and it's about a 5 out of 10. And really, the product itself is nice. That's what I'm wearing. Like, that's the glow that you see on my chest right now as I sprayed it on. The issue I have with this product is the packaging is very cumbersome to use. So in theory, it would be really, really lovely. It's like a little spray nozzle. You like, like you just spray it and that kind of thing. But when I'm trying to do like the back of my thighs, first of all, like I'll try to like tilt it, and then because the straw is a certain angle, a certain way, if I tilt it the wrong way, I don't get anything spraying out. So I end up needing to spray it, and like I'm someone that likes to rub in, like even if I'm just spraying it, I'll rub it in. And then when I'm trying to use it again, my hands are super oily and greasy. So I would either like wrap a washcloth around it and try to spray it again. And that was kind of awkward because like then you're like, it's just really awkward. Or your hands are super greasy and you like can't angle it correctly. So I ended up I would spray it into my hand and rub it wherever I wanted to rub it. I think if this was in more of like that, like a pump where like a big puddle of product comes out at once instead of like a little spritzer, I would like this a lot more. And I think that it would just be a lot better. I'm going to talk about this in the face portion, but the glow stick is like the same kind of look to it. So if I was going to do it again, I would just do this and like use that as an all over sheen. Next is another one that I don't have with me, so I'm going to post a picture of it on the screen right now. And that is the Everyday Play lotion. It's like the lotion form. Typically I buy the giant tub of it because I know I'm going to go through it. Like one giant thing of it lasts me about a season, so like one summer and that'll be gone. It's like a no nonsense, like the most sunscreen kind of sunscreen you're gonna get. So it's gonna leave a little bit of that white cast that like sunscreens typically do, but it does absorb into the skin if you're like my kind of complexion. If you're deeper, I'm not sure if it like sits and it sinks in, the white cast fades, I don't know. But for me, the white cast does fade like as I'm wearing it. I also really like the fact that I will, if I'm diligent about reapplying it, I went to South Florida and I went down there and would reapply it on the beach every 90 minutes. I did not get a burn, not a single lick of a burn, just a beautiful, beautiful color. However, the trade-off is because I reapply it so often, even with going in and out of the ocean or a body of water or like a pool or any type of water source, I felt like I still had like a layer of sunscreen on. So when I reapplied it, it was just like smearing another layer of sunscreen on. So eventually it became very thick and like everything felt like that super sunscreeny. Like I can't touch anything without, again, like leaving a trail of sunscreen fingerprints everywhere. That might be something better for like a base layer and then something else like an aerosol that we're going to talk about next actually for like the reapplications. This guy, on the other hand, I've already gone through one of these. I don't know if I even put it in my trash it and cash it. I finished one of these and I can't find the container. It might be in my garage because I'll typically keep one in the garage and then one in the house just so I'm like, oh, if I'm out here, I can just reapply. But if I'm outside, I won't have to walk all the way in. Anyway, this is really, really nice. It has a really beautiful like fan of a mist. So when I spray it, it fans out really beautifully. I feel like I don't have to go over and over and over. I can just do like a and it gets like my whole arm or my whole leg because the mister like spreads so nicely. This is a really nice product, really fine spray, really even spray also. And I like this one. I rated this a 9 out of 10 because the ease of application, there's no real scent to it. It has a beautiful fanned out aerosol mister that coats everything. And I don't know if you're like me and your husband hates applying lotion. This is the only way that I can get him to apply sunscreen. So I usually will keep a aerosol SPF stocked in the house because this is literally the only way that he'll wear a sunscreen. So I can definitely see myself repurchasing. In fact, I will be repurchasing this. And my absolute favorite body product that I've tried from Supergoop is going to be this guy here. This is the Glow Screen Body. I really like this. I said this is like a 9 out of 10. I've only used this 1 or 2 times. And mainly because I'm trying to go through some other sunscreens in my life that have just been open and expire sooner than this. I really like this guy. I don't know if, well, one, this only comes in 1 shade, so I don't know if it would fit a multitude of skin tones. It's kind of one of those more translucent-y kind of products. So that is it right there. And then, so this is the one with the SPF. This has no on it. So, I mean, like, it's beautiful. It's nice. It has a really lovely feel to it. It doesn't leave a white cast to it. There's no real scent to it. So I do like it. I do actually like it, but I don't know. Well, I wouldn't repurchase it because of the price point. This is $42 for this guy. It's a 3.4 ounce, and I could get a, what was it? a 5.5 ounce of the Everyday Play SPF 50, which is 10 SPF more than this. A 5.5 ounce is 3.4 is $34 versus this guy's $42 for a lot less product. So, and the amount of sunscreen I apply, if this was my sole sunscreen, I would fly through this in like a week. I can also just put a shimmery lotion on top of my SPF, so I don't really care. So I really like this, but I wouldn't repurchase it. I know that kind of seems like really counterintuitive for this, but if I were going to repurchase any body sunscreen, it's going to be this one. It's going to be this one. That's the long and short of it. Okay. I have 9 face sunscreens to talk about, and I'm going to start with the one that I thought was the worst product. And I gone through 2.5, the half being like a mini size of this. This is the Supergoop Resetting Mist. Now, you might be asking yourself, Laura, you've gone through 2.5 of these. Don't you mean you like this? I wanted to like it. That is the issue. So I had bought a mini from Ulta just because I was like, oh, I'll try it. It'll be nice. I can just like spritz it on. It'll be great. That worked okay. Initially, it worked really, really well. And then I bought 2 large ones because I'm like, I'm going to go through these. I'm just going to use them all the time. I'm going to leave one in my car, take one to work with me. That way, like, I'll always be able to reapply my sunscreens and like not disrupt my face. These clog so much and almost instantaneously, these clog. So I rated this a 0 out of 10 because, one, it has like that rubbing alcohol where like you have to hold your breath and like spray it or else you're gonna like choke on rubbing alcohol scent. 2, it clogs almost instantly. This sucker clogs, and it drove me insane to the point where I like actually broke this packaging because I was so frustrated with it. You have to, when it starts clogging, you have to take the thing off. You have to clean this part. You have to clean this part. And sometimes, most of the time, it didn't clean that well because the spritzer thing that you need to clean, you can't reach. So you would do your best. You would try. You would rinse it out. You would do all the things you can, and it still wouldn't spray. Or if it sprayed, it kind of was like, meh, meh, and it was unbelievably annoying. It was very frustrating. This was miserably annoying to use. The next worst product that I rated is this guy here. This is the Every Single Face Daily Moisturizer Lotion SPF from Supergoop. I ended up getting this through gratis when I worked at Ulta, and I was like, ooh, Supergoop product, mine, yes, so excited, because I was like, I haven't tried this one. I want to try this one. I rated this a 1 out of 10. And I feel like that's a little generous. This has kind of an almond meets rubbing alcohol scent. It is a pretty, like, I wouldn't really say it's a watery lotion. It's a little watery. I think it's still a little thick. It's traveling now, but I still think it's a little bit thick. It's like almond or sunflower seeds meets rubbing alcohol. And no matter what I do to keep it around like this area of my face, it would make my eyes burn. And it's awful. It's an awful feeling to have your eyes feel like they're on fire. And like, even if I wash my face, I was like, they still are burning. So I just would not recommend this at all. So I threw my hair up because it is so hot in my office right now. The door is shut. I get no circulation in here. So I mentioned this briefly in the body portion of the video, and I really wanted to like this. I was so excited about this. I had a guest come into work when I worked at Ulta, and she mentioned that this is trending on TikTok. It looks so beautiful. Me, as someone who didn't have TikTok at the time, went, well, I want it. It's my favorite sunscreen brand. Of course, I'm going to love it. I don't love it. It's about a 3 out of 10 for me. It works. It does the job. But the whole thing with this is it says that it's an invisible dry oil stick. You can use as an SPF highlighter. You can keep spots like your cheekbones, shoulders, and décolleté. Sun safe, not to mention you'll be glowing. However, this picks up product. So if you're wearing makeup and you're like say you're in the car and you're at work and you're like, ooh, my cheeks look a little rosy. Let me just do a little beep, beep. It picks up product, or it like smears it all around. So I'm not someone that wants to wear like a glowy cheek product too. If I'm wearing like a bare face, I kind of just want to be barefaced, or like just use like a normal SPF on my face. I don't need to like have something that's glowing. If you're like a no makeup kind of gal and you like to still have a glow, you would like this. But if you are someone, and I'm sure you are because you're here on this channel where we talk about makeup a lot, you're probably not gonna like this. So don't fall into the hype like I did. Then the next item I don't actually have either. It was the Supergoop, all of it's Supergoop. It is the Bright Eyed SPF eye cream thing. It was kind of just like a middle of the road product to me. It's been over a year since I've had that in my collection. So I was basing it really off of my memory of the product. It wasn't a bad product. It was kind of just like middle of the road, thickest eye cream I've used like in a long time. And then it has a really peach undertone with kind of like the glow screen aspect where it's a little bit like shimmery. So it was okay. It was okay. It just kind of felt like when you would put it on, it kind of felt like you put it on, you know? Like you felt like you had a big smear of something on your under eyes. It didn't really absorb that well into the under eyes. I wasn't really like keen on putting it on my eyelids either, just because of how thick it was. It was okay. I also am someone that likes a eye cream for morning and night, and if I have to use only one for like one, like I like to have an eye cream that I can just use one eye cream for both morning and night. I don't want to have like a special one for this time, a special one for that time. Like I want just a one and done. I'm no nonsense with that. The same rating, 5 out of 10, I said for this guy here. This is the Mineral Sheer Screen SPF 30. This is nice. It's okay. It's I've used almost all of it up. I have like 2 applications left, and I've just been focusing on one that's in my project pan. But this is nice. It leaves a white cast though. It has more of that like traditional SPF kind of look and feel to it, where you're gonna get a bit of that white cast when you use it. So that is it. You can definitely tell it's not like that watery lotion where it's gonna run over. It's staying exactly where I put it. And when I use it, it just leaves a bit of that white blue kind of. One that surprised me, and I don't have it any longer, I panned it years ago. Like when my channel first started, I panned the Supergoop CC screen. It was the old formula where they had like 2 or 3 shades. It was a very abysmal shade range back in the day. It was like fair light, light medium, medium tan, and those were the shades you could get. And now they have about 15 different shades, I want to say. It's still not a great shade range. It's definitely catered to fair to medium skin tones, and even that might be a stretch. It's definitely catered to the lighter end of the spectrum, so they do need to do better in that regard. However, I ended up really liking the CC cream or CC screen or whatever it was called. I had mine in fair light. I used it in the winter time. I used it as a foundation kind of product. So I would put it on as my foundation or as my CC cream, and then I would put everything else on. It was nice for those like more lightweight makeup days where I was going to the office a lot more. It's definitely a better product in my opinion than the Mineral Sheer Screen, because this one leaves that white cast, the other one doesn't. But from my memory, the CC screen was really thick, a lot thicker than this, but it had coverage to it. So like you'd put it on, it kind of took a little bit of effort to smooth it out. Again, this is all based on the old formula though, so I don't know about the new formula. We were about to talk about this guy here. This is the Daily Dose Hydra-Ceramide Boost Plus SPF. This is an SPF oil. This is the first SPF oil I've actually tried, and I really like this one. I really, really like this one. If you've missed it, I'm panning it in this project pan up here. But this is, again, the Daily Dose Hydra-Ceramide Boost Plus SPF Oil, SPF 40. I like this quite a bit. I have really dehydrated skin right now. I'm on tretinoin, which is a retinoid product that really dehydrates my skin, and I really like this. I wear it underneath my makeup. I'm wearing it underneath my makeup today, It does take a long time for it to sink in though, so I will typically apply this first. I'll work on my eyeshadow, which typically can take me like on a good day it takes me 20 minutes. On a bad day it takes me like an hour. But bad day is like a maintenance, like a high maintenance day, it takes me an hour. But it gives me time for this to sink in. I also will use my little fan to try to get it to sink in. And if I'm still feeling like I'm a little shiny, I go in with this on top of it to kind of try to set it down a little bit more. But it takes a good long while for this to sink into the skin. But because I have such dehydrated skin, my skin loves you. So good. So good. So if you had oily skin, I don't think you'd like this. But if you have really dry skin and you have like a little bit of like flaky peelies, like I do right now, like all around my nose is like peeling. It's not cute. This has been working really, really well to keep me well hydrated so I don't feel like super tight. Next one, I rated, so the next two, actually, the last two, I rated a 10 out of 10. One I like just more for my skin versus this one. So this isn't even it. So I'll have a picture of it. I have used one of them up in the past and I definitely like it. But right now, since my skin is drier, I don't need this kind of product. It is the Mineral Matte Sunscreen, not to be confused with the Mineral Sheer Screen. This one has that white cast. The Mineral Matte comes out kind of beigey, like a light beige kind of color, almost like my skin tone-ish. And it has like a really, really flat finish to it. It has almost a more powdery texture than some of these other SPFs that we've talked about. I think that if I was back to having combo / oily skin, I was more combination when I had used it previously and really, really, really liked it. I think it did a really good job keeping me a little bit more shine free throughout the day, that kind of thing. There was no scent to it to my memory. It was just really, really, really lovely. Again, has more of that powdery finish. So if you like a primer that kind of sits down and doesn't like feel like it's going to slip around, you would definitely like that one. If you do like something that's a little bit more pore filling, a little bit more silicone dimethicone, my number one would be a Ride or Die. This packaging has all rubbed off, but this is actually the Unseen sunscreen. And as you can see, I used her all the way up. This is my favorite sunscreen by Supergoop. This is the one that kind of started it all for me. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 product. I know they came out with an Unseen body screen. I haven't tried that one, but I'm sure it's the exact same product, just in a large tube of it. This is really nice if you like the Benefit Professional, or if you like the Ulta Poreless Face Primer. This is just so good. I don't know if there's any product left in here. We're gonna try for it. Oh my gosh, a little bit came out. But it's this really transparent, clear SPF. It just is no nonsense. It works for any skin tone because there's zero color to it. It has that really soft feel. Can't say enough great things about this one. Works great as a primer. I've bought 2 or 3 of these now, and I'm about to re-up on this one. Actually, I need to chill out on sunscreens. I have so many sunscreens right now. That is it for my Supergoop ranking video. I know technically it wasn't like this is 0, this is 1. It's like, I don't know. Let me know how you liked this video. Let me know if you've tried any of these Supergoop products, and if you have tried any of the other Supergoop products that I haven't tried. I do want to honorably mention this here is the e.l.f. Whoa Glow sunscreen that's supposedly like the dupe of the Supergoop the Supergoop's glow screen. I really like this one. It's beautiful. It has a little bit of a tint to it, like that, and it just looks really nice. So if you're like, girl, Supergoop's expensive, I'm not about to spend that kind of money, e.l.f. has been making some serious dupes of it. They have the Whoa Glow dupe, which is the glow screen dupe. They just launched the one that is supposedly like the Unseen sunscreen, and then I know they also have a resetting dupe also. So if you're interested in some of these products, you don't have to dish out like the $40 to $60 for the products. e.l.f. is making them on a budget for us. Yes, love it, love it, love it, love it. Let me know if there's any products that you have tried from Supergoop that I have not tried. I'm really interested in the lip screen. However, I have so many lip products to get through before I even can feasibly think about that. I want to try the Glow Powder. I want to try the Glow Powder sunscreen out, and then the City Serum. I'm very interested in that too. But that is it for my Supergoop ranking video, that kind of thing. I hope you guys are staying healthy, sane, and safe, and I gotta go take my dog on a walk or else he is gonna flip out at me. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!